I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
A Merry Cappy Christmas to all of you. Cappy is working because, frankly, I was a disgusting pig the previous 3 days to Christmas. Beckloff was like, dude, what are you doing at the gym? I'm like, I was a pig. I got it in, and then Christmas came. I better do something. So here I am, selflessly contributing to GDP of this nation on Christmas Day, unlike the Karens of the world. And I did want to mention this because I'm not even joking in the slightest. You know, there's an element of, tongue-in-cheek and sarcasm with the videos we do. But this one I'm pretty 100% sincere about. And everyone likes picking on the Karens and it's a stereotype, but no, legit, legit, more than you realize, the quote-unquote Karens of the United States, among other people as well. I as always, I'm either sitting on the toilet or sitting in the shower. I'm like, oh my God, they actually do. They have cost America. They have made us all poor. And so I'm going to go over. I got a list. I even got a list. When I got a list, you know it's serious. This is real economic research here. I'm going to show you the 4 ways the Karens of America have made Americans poor. All right. Number 1, where do all the Karens end up? What are their profession? And you guys who have been with me for a while, you know this because it directly affects the labor market. I have made many mention of this before. But dude, HR, you Karens are in HR. And as far as I can tell, it is disproportionately HR Karens who is requiring every fucking young kid to go into ridiculous amounts of debt for a college degree they don't need to do an entry-level job. Now, I'm sure their corporate executives and the managers are also okay with, well, if they got a college degree, it's better than no college degree. Let's just require a college degree. I'm not saying Karens are solely responsible for this, but they are the instigators. They're the ones who can say, no, we don't need college degrees. Any degree is a good degree. And you listen to me. I'm not joking. You despicable, vile Karens in HR. You're the ones who came up with the phrase bachelor's required, master's preferred, when an associate's wasn't even necessary. And how many generations are we on now? It's Gen X, millennials, and you Zoomers, right? And the Karens still 5 years experience in this software, even though the software came out 3 years ago. Yes, it's slowly starting to ebb away. Yes, people are starting to realize college is BS. Yes, companies are at a glacial pace starting to say, all right, we'll train you in. Walmart, Google, all right, you don't need a college degree. But I honestly, the damage is done now. How many of y'all got college debt for a college degree that wasn't worth it? Literally, because Karens required stupid levels of college education that were completely unnecessary. I could leave it that. I could leave it. If there's one thing you Karens, being 100% you vile, disgusting human beings, if there's one thing you Karens have done to ruin this nation, it's saddling every young person with crippling levels of debt so they can never get on with the rest of their lives. That's you, or disproportionately you. Look at me arguing with Karens as if they have souls and not pure contempt and hatred in their hearts to make everyone miserable. Karens don't care. Really, I do believe in evil people. And you Karens, you do not care about anyone else. You want them to be miserable. There's no like, oh, maybe we ought to make it easier for kids to get, I don't know, a job that doesn't have a ton of debt with it, that maybe they could afford groceries. I don't know. That's just me, but I'm the evil Republican libertarian over here. 2, this is especially pronounced past 5 years. Expensive cars. Okay. I've told you the story before, how I went into, they did like marketing research. You could volunteer and, sample the cheese. What do you like about the cheese? What don't you like about the cheese? Talk about the cheese. And no joke, 85% of the feedback the market researchers got came from Karens because they don't shut the fuck up. And I sat there just as an economist looking and watching where, it'd be me and a couple guys. And well, I like these crackers. They're fine. A little salty. Nothing. It was always the middle-aged Karens. And I'm like, did they do the same market testing for cars? And you damn well sure they did, because I never asked for cars to have nagging devices installed in them. I guarantee you, fellow American citizens, that when all these cars did auto manufacturers did the research for how do we improve? How do we improve? How about you make it cheaper and more reliable and easier to fix? Huh? We don't need improvement. Stop improving. You've improved beyond optimal. Oh, no. I'll give you the epitome. Here's, you young kids want to know why you can't afford cars? I'm not joking. It's the Karens. How Karen are you? Don't tell me it was some bachelor guy who came up with this one. You see, I have bags of groceries in my hands. And, lifting trunks is hard. I don't want to do anything hard in life, like lift a trunk. So could I just take my little small pump pointy brown Karen shoe and just pirouette little fucking shoe, pointy Karen shoe underneath the car, and then it pops up. Oh, I got in trouble one time. It was one of those automatic pop-up trunks, and I think you got to slam it shut. No, I'm like, go to slam it shut, and I almost, no, you're ruining whatever, the engine, the thing, the pump, the whatever it is. Let me ask you something, because y'all vote Democrat and safety is number one. And oh my God, let's just build tanks. Do you think having the motion detector and then the electronics that go into opening and closing the trunk of your SUV, do you think that makes your cars cheaper or more expensive? These television screens they build into the dash. You don't even have a dash in it. It was just a television screen. There's a steering wheel right about here, and you got your little fucking clicky. You like not a real fucking stick shift. Oh fuck standard transmission. You guys don't even have the pull down drive or pull down shift drive. You got your little fucking knob. I don't think that costs anything more or less. But I had to imagine that whatever, GM, Mercedes, all the auto manufacturers, let's ask a bunch of 48-year-old Karens who don't have to actually fix these cars because they all work in HR. What would you like? And nothing's too good for your children. Say you can't put a price on safety, just like your fucking bullshit degree. And dude, I don't know if you've driven a new car recently. It started happening when I had occasionally I'd rent a car once every 3 years. And they just got more fucking nagging and annoying. Your seatbelt isn't on. Ding, 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 ding. That's an old one. Get too far to the left side of the road, right? The eyes, cars got fucking eyes. The eyes can see the road, and it rumbles on your left ass cheek because you get a little too close. rumbles on the right. I've had someone saying like they're the wheel will actually try to fight you. Like, I don't know, like you're married. Trying to turn this fucking shit off. Guarantee you it was a Karen. Because they want all this opulent luxury bullshit, like your little pirouette foot opening the car trunk, and then all this overkill on safety. All the overkill on safety. Oh, and let's not forget environmentalism, okay? You Karens, you generally, well, I don't even think it's necessarily right or left in that case. Environmentalism, you should generally be for the environment, but you all virtue signal. You all wonder why you can't find cars that work well. You wonder why they all got turbos. You wonder why. Here's something interesting. I had to do a little bit of research on this. You wonder why there's no affordable entry-level cars for you young kids or you young Americans or just poor Americans, right? Because I know some of my vehicles are going to end, right? And I'm like, okay, I better start looking at new vehicles. I'm like, why are there no entry-level fucking cars? Why do they all start at $32,000? Well, it turns out because Karens just love the environment so much, and I have a complaint in the whole world. Oh my God, a woman in North America has a complaint. What might we do for you, Your Majesty? Kill the fucking auto industry? Make sure young kids can't afford a fucking car no more? Yes, Your Eminence, so that you might virtue signal and impress your equally vapid Winnetka soccer moms. Yes, Your Worship, what doth thou require? I require everything be electric, and I want higher gas, lower gas emissions, and I want higher fuel. Well, so, and then you got the EPA. But if you're wondering why there's only trucks, big ass trucks that you can't afford, and fancy cars that are larger that you can't afford, and there's no like Ford Fiesta anymore, or a Chevy Geo, if you remember that, Geo Metro. It's because if you have less mass, a smaller car, then your fuel efficient, your miles per gallon has to be really high. But if you have a big truck, they say, well, that's a big truck, so your fuel efficiency doesn't have to be as high. And the company, auto manufacturer have done the math, say, well, we can make the car smaller, but we're not going to get as much profit of, or maybe no profit at all. So we're going to make big trucks because we got more room to work with the EPA requirements, just to make a bunch of fucking virtue signaling Karens happy. And so therefore, in an ironic sense, we don't have small fuel efficient cars and entry level cars that you young kids or poor people or just people like me who don't want to piss away all your money on a car. You don't get that. You don't. Remember Cash for Clunkers? It was a perfect example. Because, oh my God, Obama was the person we were told to worship and bow down to. Where he destroyed how many millions of used cars for the environment. And then you all wonder why car prices went up after that. Used cars? Ostensibly for the poor people Obama was for. Never mind that economics. A privileged little preppy boy over there who's president. Look him up. He's privileged. He had an idea. Well, let's just help out the environment and destroy all the used cars. That'll help the poor people. Well, Morse, I guarantee you, is because of all this bells and whistles ringing horse shit that these Karens wanted, and safety. And I do know the EPA environmental standards are disproportionately Karens as well. That's why you can't afford a car. So there's another one. Number 3, housing. Okay. You may have noticed housing's a little expensive. Now forget your moms all saying, follow your heart and money will follow. The Karens are affecting housing prices, driving up to ridiculous levels in 2 ways. First, Karens all started as Becky's, okay? You do not achieve the rank of Karen right off the bat. You have to earn that. They all start as Becky's. And Becky, ew, a rambler? You can't get my pussy if our kids are going to have to share a room, a 1-car garage. Where am I going to put my bell-dinging Nagmobile Range Rover? Becky's demand you. Now we're going back to boomer Karens, okay? And that's usually that's the milestone where you are graduated from a Becky to a Karen is when you get, what did the baby boomer Karens create? The McMansion. And now, you boys are also part to blame for this. What, Becky? Becky, I get you touch P now if I buy you palatial estate McMansion we don't need? Okay, Becky. That's a joke on Jenny. See, did you see what I... Okay, Johnny. Because if you want Becky's, hoo-ha, well, you got to get her a ridiculous, oversized house. And you guys fell for it. Oh, ask me how I know. Go read my first book about the housing crisis. Behind the Housing Crash. Look it up. Great book. And you're like, oh my God, were people that dumb? They sure the fuck were. And so the Beckys, you don't get to play with the Beckys unless you get a ridiculous oversized home. And I haven't done the math, but based on square footage and shit, you get yourself a McMansion, right? You could probably on the easy side, you could build 2 simple entry-level starter homes, right? But then say, okay, well, all this money and resources and carpenter work, all the carpenters are building this McMansions. What about affordable living? Karen's not, look, Karen votes Democrat. That doesn't mean she wants the consequences in her own backyard. They're good. And we're not even talking Section 8, right? We're not talking, hey, there's a developer thinking about putting a Section 8 housing in. Then they all, oh my God, I'm a Democrat, but I don't want to actually help the poor people or anything. I'm a Karen. Hypocrisy is my middle name. They don't even want entry-level starter homes near their fucking precious little suburbs. Or multi-level house, duplex, triplex, apartment buildings. Oh, no, we can't build it there. And if I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Go look who sits on city councils. Rich, bored women who are Karens who got nothing else to do. Because they outsource their raising of their children to daycare. Because raising their kids they got to be power bitch. I'm power bitch. I got my degree in HR and my kids are off at hockey. And now I got to sit on the city council. What? Fuck the poor people. No, I know I voted for more. I say that, but I don't want that house. There might be 2 kids living in a room. Oh my God. My children aren't going to be running around with that filth. Go look at ordinances and building codes. Now, maybe not so much the codes, but the ordinances. I guarantee you're going to see some Karens protecting the little fucking American Beauty life over there. And then finally, I don't know what it is, but HOAs. Man, do Karen love HOAs. Now, this isn't all housing. This is more of an observation. Doesn't help. I am serious. The Becky effect on everyone must have a McMansion. We can't start with a simple 1960s bungalow. That's real. Yes, Karens do make sure that affordable housing, not Section 8, just simple affordable housing, entry-level homes cannot be built. But then the HOAs, which, by that time you're already in development. And I don't know. They do make homes in homeowners associations more expensive because they all want a community center. I don't know how much you guys are, if you've seen a new development go in, I don't know how many of you ever paid attention much to it. In my day, we're going to subdivide Farmer Joe's 800 acres of land and we'll put a subdivision here. And that was it. There wasn't like fucking Whispering Willows Way or the signage. They call it monumentation. If you're wondering, Pansy Husband's Paradise and, soccer mom suites, whatever the hell it is. They got beautiful woodwork and stonework and a water fountain. That way, they're extra dickheads. And then they got community centers and they got to have parks. Well, the HOA all pays for that. And really, in the day, you could have said, hey, I found this 2-bedroom house. It's a great starter. You got a kid on the way. it's tight, but we'll make it work. It's got a carport. Yeah, I know, but at least the snow will stay off the car. That's a great starter. Oh God, no, not for Becky. And do you think Becky wants to live in a neighborhood that doesn't have a community center with a bouncy house? Becky did not join the sorority that she did so that she could live in a 2-bedroom bungalow. She needs the community center with a bouncy house. If you want her pussy. And you dopes. Okay, Johnny. So there's housing, and I don't know if you knew this. Housing's been getting a little expensive, right, gang? So between your soccer moms telling you, follow your heart, money will fall. Oh, there's another one. Do the Beckys marry plumbers and carpenters and roofers? No. I don't know. Ladies, it's just, if you're upset about the cost of housing, I wonder if marrying a tradesman might lower the cost of housing. Like, he can fix the house or wire a house, and then his buddies could come in and barter and kind of build you. Oh no, you need investment banker dick, right? The ones that like always steal money and need a student loan, or I'm sorry, a taxpayer bailout. You need those guys. Yes, you need those. Yes. Don't talk to Carl the carpenter. Christ Almighty, no. So there you go. You have less people becoming tradesmen because their moms tell them bullshit. You have absurd and unsustainable demand for McMansions. I'm fine if you have a larger house. I'm not begrudging people. If you can afford a mansion, go get it. What I couldn't abide when I was a banker was watching all these dipshits live paycheck to paycheck to get into some fucking house they barely could afford, only to inevitably get divorced or file for bankruptcy, get constant home equity loans out of their houses, and then inevitably have to foreclose on it anyway. That's the shit I'm talking about. Can you guys just tell the Beckys before they become Karens? No. I got a 3-bedroom household. This is perfectly fine. Where family can live here. You know what? And then the kids leave, and then we got our retirement home. Why do we got to get 3 homes? Starter home, fucking family home, and then retirement home. Hi, I got an idea. The starter home, we let the kids suffer a little bit. They share some rooms. You get some bunk beds, and then we kick them out at 18, no questions asked. And then we got our retirement home. We don't have to downsize. Oh my fucking God. No, let's waste literally $500,000 on interest payments. Oh yeah, and then they don't want to have you. They got theirs. You can't. I never understood, why can't you have like a 2-bed, even a 1-bedroom house? What's wrong with a 1-bedroom house? I mean, wouldn't that be great? You get your little plot of land. You're not married yet. You get a little house, little garage. We talked about the bachelor hut garage below, 1-bedroom apartment. But why can't we? Oh God, no. Princess Karen would thus be offended. Not joking. Not joking. Karens, we all hate you. The country I'm trying to wake America up to why they're so fucking poor and in financial straits. And it's not solely Karen. Obviously, there are many other things happening here. But I'm like, God damn. Can we start shaming these bitches to knock it the fuck off? And finally, free shit. Understand, Karens who start out as Beckys, they want nothing more than to be popular. Fuck love, fuck family, fuck the children. That's why there's daycare. They need to do the popular thing. I don't really want to introduce politics into it, but we got to introduce politics into it, because the number one way to be popular is to vote for free shit. Okay? As long as they don't put that Section 8 housing anywhere near your house. I loves the children's. I loves that. How about your own children? Fuck them. I want to help whatever. The immigrants, the foreigners, whatever. What about your own men? Fuck them. I don't want to vote to raise everyone's taxes so that I can vote for the popular thing. Really, ask a Karen. Ask anyone, okay, what's the federal budget? Like, give them plus or minus $2 trillion, which is significant. Say, what's our GDP per year? How much do we spend? How much we take in? What's the deficit? Can you convert it to a percentage of GDP? I can, but that won't get you laid, in case you guys were wondering. They don't know. They just free shit for everyone because I'm popular. Yay! thing. I put the bumper sticker on my thing on my SUV that has a little foot fucking thing that fucking goes up like leave it out. You don't close it because you break the frame there. Put the groceries in. And I put my foot back in a little fucking dance. I have it on the back there. It coexists. I have it on the back there. No child is illegal, whatever horseshit. Karens just want to be popular. And the number one way to become popular is to say free shit for everybody. But the problem is, and I don't know how many times I got to explain this as an economist, there's no fucking thing is free. Because all they do is jack up your taxes, including the men that they're married to. That's if you're lucky. More commonly, they elect politicians and who, Republicans included, borrow money. From who? That's sit down, young people. I know. Now, here's where you young people are also guilty. Free shit. I want free shit. Well, the government then goes and borrows a bunch of money, trillions of dollars, by the way, annually. Annually now. I remember the days when it wasn't annually. And it's backed up by the full faith and guarantee of the federal government of the United States. Where do they get the money? Like inevitably, where do they get the money to pay off the debt? Right? Where they could keep rolling over. I'm like, yeah, they could keep rolling over. They could keep increasing, and then you never have to pay. I remember having an economics professor. I hope. I can't say what I hope happens to you. They just keep rolling over the debt. Asshole. But inevitably, it's got to be paid, or there's a thing called inflation we're going to get to later. But to get this I want free shit. And Karen wants free shit because you want free shit because you just want free shit. You don't want to work. Let's be honest. Karens want free shit because they want to be popular. So they borrow the money to the tunes of trillions of dollars, the debt of which has to be paid back. Do you think 48-year-old Karen is going to pay that debt back when they got to increase taxes to inevitably make the United States government solvent so the dollar doesn't collapse internationally? Karen's going to be dead. You young kids get to pay it. Whenever you hear debt, that don't mean the current people in office are going to pay it off. Nancy Pelosi ain't going to sell her estate and pay off the national debt. It's you young dipshit kids. Free shit. Oh my God. Democrat dick. Me sucky so much. Why are things expensive? And that's just the deficit. That's just borrowing money. You guys also want to go to, well, maybe not you, but the powers that be, because free shit, well, if you can't print off more money, if you can't borrow more because no one wants to buy U.S. bonds, no one wants to lend the U.S. government money, what do? You make money printer go burr. Go look up the M1 money supply right now. If you want to convert it to a percentage of GDP, if you like. And this is one where Karen is least responsible. Okay. Everyone's guilty here. I want the free shitsies. All right. But Karens want to be really, especially, I want to be popular. I just want to help the children with not my money, other people's, but you don't get it. You don't get it. When you print off the money, guess what that causes? It causes inflation. Has that been an issue the past couple of years? Have you noticed prices going up? I know economics is boring. I know their pings don't get touched because not investment banker, race car driver, astronaut. Well, I don't know. It's like learning about heart health or obesity. I know it's boring, but trust me, it's kind of important down the road. But disproportionately carries, because their religion is being popular. And they have to vote. The real world political manifestation of their ultimate desire to be popular is, I don't want to call it Democrat politics, that just happens to be in the United States, but leftist free shit politics, which when you print off the money or borrow it, thus increasing the money supply anyway, you all wonder why a gallon of gas is $4. Why, on top of it, you can't afford your rent because there's already a limited supply, but there's also a lot more money floating in the economy. Why, I don't know, food is expensive. Stop printing off money. Everyone's a little guilty on that fourth one, but I'm going to still disproportionately assign guilt and blame to the Karens. Now, let's look at it. What we got? We got education, transportation, cars, housing, and then general inflation. Now, let me ask you something. Let's remove the general inflation because that's everything. Let's go to these three topics: education, because HR requires college degrees, cars, and housing. Are those the three largest expenses on your personal budget? Education, rent, and cars? I bet it is. And I wonder if those three go up because Karen just feels so. Do you think they haven't made you all poorer? Those three things alone, and I'd have to look at the CPI data to figure out, did they go up more? Well, we know tuition went up more. Cars have probably gone up more. I'd have to look at that to verify. Housing has gone up more. Healthcare, that's not necessarily them, although I'm sure Karens and hospitals and whatever have made it worse. We take those three things, especially young people, like let's say analyze it from that way. You're not old and frail and need healthcare yet, right? That'll come down the road when you need to pay off these debts. The cost of higher education, college so you can work, cost of cars, the cost of housing. Yeah, you're damn right. And those three ones, the housing, especially the college education. And I am going to accuse you, Karens, of the cars. That's why you're all poor. That's why you can't afford, because Karens, they demanded so. So they, frankly, could feel good. And this isn't an endorsement that you go run and join the Republican Party. It's not that. I mean, yeah, that'd be maybe not join the Republican Party, but vote Libertarian, stop voting Democrats, stop voting for free shit. That aside, y'all can we just start telling Karens to fuck off? Like when you go in, just hear me out. Look, the Zoomers are doing great already with this lying flat. No, I'm not going to. And they are doing a pretty good job with education too. The boys, especially, men are like, no, we're not getting a college degree. It's worthless. But if someone comes in like, oh, we're going to pay you this shit wage and this shit job, we're not going to train you. Nah, I'm not showing up. Why can't we find people to work for us? Why don't you do the same thing with the Karens in HR? Where they say, you got to interview with HR. No, I don't. I don't interview with HR. You need a college degree. Master's preferred. No, not doing that. They're starting to make some progress on college, but just say, no, I'm not getting a college degree. I'll go become a tradesman. I'll go become a carpenter. I'll do anything aside from get a real college. Although there are some college degrees that are still worth it. But if they say, oh, you need a master's degree. Okay, fine, bye. Not dealing with it. I'll go work for a small mom and pop shop that doesn't require a master's degree to mow yards. Housing. Can you guys just happy wife, happy life? Can you tell the Becky's about to become Karens? No, we're not getting a ridiculously overpriced McMansion in the suburbs. No, we're going to have our kids live in a one-bedroom. And by God, there's this thing coming up, a vote or a what do they call it? A referendum, some kind of the local elections have a referendum as to whether or not we should zone this area for starter home. I hate to say low income, not Section 8, but low income housing. We're voting yes on that. So maybe some nice young families can start and have some, including our children. I don't want those poor people are living next to me. Oh, you're the type that treats the staff like shit and your servers like shit. Can you reel in your Karens as saying, no, we don't marry Karens? No Karens. We're boycotting Karens. Don't care how big your tits are. And then the cars, I don't know how you solve that. I mean, that's got to be done at the federal level. Maybe Trump will get in like, hey, yeah, we can do electric cars. I mean, well, hell, his buddy Elon has an electric car company. But we're going to loosen up these regulations a little bit. And no, we're not going to have $10,000 worth of bells and whistles and nagging devices and automatic doors. We're going to build some entry-level cars, and we're not going to whatever it is that made Karen get wet. Penalize a car company for manufacturing a small car that gets better, 33 miles a gallon, but doesn't meet the EPA requirements. Maybe there's a little less nagging in the nagmobiles, right? Maybe do we need a fucking computer screen in a car? I don't think we do. Maybe you marketing executives could here. I know all you care about is the money that Karen makes at her HR job and then co-signs with her husband. There is another group of people who aren't Karens. It's called everyone else. And we would like affordable, safe, but affordable cars that don't nag us to death. No joke. No more than, how long ago was it? It was 4 years ago. I had a car. It didn't even have power steerings. It had the regular rolling windows, standard transmission, no air conditioning. Me and the GF drove it through the desert. Oh God, it was horrible. We live to talk about it. Can you make those again? But there won't be air conditioning. You're right. But the 23-year-old kid is probably going to be okay with being a little warm on a couple days instead of not being able to drive at all. I would, and then finally, in addition to everyone who isn't a Karen who's responsible for this, like I beseech those at the EPA, Congress, now soon to be elected president or President-elect Donald Trump when he gets in office, local people, local politicians, we can all do our own part to maybe turn this around. If you're on the city council, maybe, okay, yeah, nothing's being used with that land. Let's have like some single family homes. It's very entry level. That's perfectly fine. Maybe stop worrying about what the Karens want. But can we also start telling the Karens to fuck right off? Just tell them to fuck off. And so in addition to that, Karens, I know you're the most supremely arrogant human species that has ever been on this planet, but could you stop thinking of yourselves? Could you just start thinking? And if you get to the point of start thinking, could you start thinking of other people and how your supreme arrogance and self-entitlement and self-aggrandizement about how important everything is about, could you take a moment to think about what the secondary and tertiary consequences of your decisions are for the rest of the people? It's all I want for Christmas. I don't know. And then maybe you Karens could get a little bit more humble. Oh, my, yeah, girl boss, boy, my fucking foot car door goes up. I got my groceries. Well, if you didn't outsource your children to randos, then the kids could help carry the groceries. Oh, kids, I just wanted them. I didn't want to raise them. Gross. Who do you think you are, patriarchy? Link below. Now, look. We know how this is going to go. The Karens are going to continue to make you poor because no one's going to tell them to fuck off except me, apparently. All right. So you are going to have to fight the poverty that the Karens have basically wreaked upon America. I have a couple of resources below. One is called Bachelor Economics. Right. If you have not read that book, please go get it. It is probably the best introductory book into personal financial management for men and women who are bold enough to read it, because secret, ladies, financial planning isn't any different for you. So the book is designed to have you make it goes over all the decisions you have to make starting at 14 to death, including estate planning, how to buy a car, where to find a good car, stupid college degrees, not stupid college degrees. Why go to college if you don't have to type of thinking. Housing, what's a mortgage? What's a 401k? What's a retire? How do I save enough for retirement? It's all there. All there. That book, that single book alone will educate you more than all of your K through 12 teachers ever did. It will, at least on financial planning. So there's that. All right. Second is a course I have called Achieving Financial Excellence. This goes into things about, you see, Karens, they're not human. They're vampires that need to consume stuff. They just suck in the stuff like a tornado. And I say, you don't need that much stuff to live. There's more to life than stuff. Matter of fact, stuff is what enslaves you. And so Achieving Financial Excellence goes over this is a little bit more philosophical and ground level. Whereas Bachelor Economics explains, this is what you do. This is what this is. Here's how this works. Achieving financial excellence more goes over the purpose and theory and use of money. So if you take that, I guess I would take that one first. You're like, oh, I understand the point and purpose of money now. Oh, I get it. It's not to buy a McMansion so that Karen might touch my peen and I could convert her from a Becky into a Karen. There's other things in life that's more important. And money is merely a tool. And here's how it works. So that one is available on Teachable. Achieving Financial Excellence. I have it linked below. And then especially for you young kids, you can't afford to be dealing with HR. Your success, your career success, your entire financial success cannot be beholden to an HR ditz. It cannot be beholden to Karen and HR. You need to have a skill in a trade that is so good that the employer needs you more than you need the employer, so you simply don't deal with the Karen. It's an extreme example, but for example, a brain surgeon. A brain surgeon does not talk to Karen in HR. A brain surgeon, Karen comes in,
You know, we didn't see you show up at Happy Poopy Fart corporate days. It was our day.
and like, no, I'm not showing up to that. I had to save a life. Well, I'm filing a complaint. Bye. There are literally any other hospital out there that will have me. Your life is too short to be stuck. If you are getting interviewed by HR, somewhere you have failed in your degree choice. Right? Not all the time. Don't use that as a perfect rule. Sometimes you have to interview with HR because they're asking, I don't know, you just gotta ask you stupid questions. I know it's a jobs program for Karens. And you're interviewing with the manager and the decisions, and they maybe HR handles the paperwork. But a general rule is you want to have a skill or a trade or an education where HR is not involved at all, except for maybe to process your employment paperwork. If you're asked, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be and why? You have majored in the wrong thing. And to prevent you from majoring in the wrong thing, one of my first books is called Worthless, the Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. We got, I don't know, maybe a late Christmas gift for some young person in your life. Your kids, hey, you haven't gone yet to college. Maybe a New Year's resolution, whatever. Consider getting that book. It's a short book. I think it's $16 still. I mean, it depends, paperback, Kindle, or audio. Give it to a young person that you care about. Or maybe you're a young person and you care about yourself. Like, I want to be like my millennial older brother who's 38 with a music therapy degree and still lives at home and smokes pot all day. I don't want to do that. I want to get laid once in a while. Please go get the book, Worthless, the Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. That is also linked below. In the meantime, I hope you Karens understand how much society hates you, how bad you are for society. And I hope the rest of you start realizing how Karens have made you poor and to simply not tolerate them and stop it. Stop giving them power. I wish you might. It's really up to the corporations. Stop listening to middle-aged women who just like, dude, knock it off. Listen to the people who work for a living and actually have to use the tools and the equipment. Maybe we scare the piss out of the Karens. That'd be all right. We got the super chats. My truth, the king. You need to add a pair of gray Velcro New Balance shoes to your thumbnail game. The worn out power walking hour boots are okay, but the New Balance shoes, dude, New Balance went to pot. New Balance used to be a really good running and hiking shoe. And the past two pairs I got on the corners where the emblem was sewn in, they started to peel away. And I'm like, then there was like debate. Oh no, it's 100% American made. And then there was, okay, are you doing the assembled in America but manufactured in China shit? I just said forget it. I've gone with Ultra. It's a more expensive shoe, but they got a wider base because I keep rolling my ankles all the time. I'm like, dude, I am not gonna. I'll drop the extra $50 on a pair of shoes. Sorry, New Balance. Bro. The douche canoes marry the Beckys and the Karens. So the NBA douche canoes, classic example of where they cut quality to cut costs, but the price is the same, bro. I got an NBA. And then their shoes went to shit And I'm wondering if New Balance has gone downhill. I'm wondering if their sales have gone down. The Jaded Warlock, new guy, $5. All the monitoring in video games is because Karens couldn't let people have fun unsupervised. Right. Go look at the video games have been ruined because of Karens. They actually have these things called community managers. They actually hire young Karens. They're transitioning from Becky's to Karens, where they go in and they will ban you if you're in whatever, the Discord server, any kind of social media associated with a video game or your online play. They actually hire community managers. See, like I said, corporations have to start making decisions to either serve the American public or serve Karens. And I'll tell you right now, there won't be an America if we don't sequester the Karens and tell them to shut the fuck up. I mean, really, corpos, what's your sales look like, especially in the video game industry, right? You delivered the most Karen products ever, the most woke leftist trash, girl boss, horseshit past 4 years. What's happening to your sales? Look, unlike Karens, us real working Americans, we have to work. We don't have hubby coming in to give us his paycheck and, oh, wow, but Joey Biden might bail me out of my women's studies. We don't have time for that. We have to work. So if you could, especially you marketers, could you ask the there's a group of people you might want to consider asking about. I think it will dramatically improve and probably cost you less. You should talk to men. I don't know if you've seen these. They're like Karens, but they look a little bit different. A good product at a fair price. That's it. Sam Whiskey, 10 generous dollars. He saw mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night. Then daddy walked in. Merry Christmas, Boomer. Thanks, Sam. Christoph Anand, 15 generous bucks. What's going on? Every Karen has a raging case of narcissistic personality disorder. Do they really? I don't think it's an actual. They might have the symptoms of it. I think they're just spoiled, rotten North American children. Like they grow up in the burbs and everything's wonderful. Like that's the whole idea of Karens is they're so used to getting everything their way. And then once they're not as pretty anymore, then they get pissed off. You know, they get really angry. That's the idea of a Karen. So they are a privileged class. But I don't think it's that they actually have a mental wire wrong with their brain. At the end of the day, I would agree with you. How they got to this unacceptable behavior doesn't matter, whether it's actual mental illness or you're just an insufferable, spoiled bitch. All right. I don't want to deal with you either way, neither does society. But I don't, yes, certainly some have narcissistic personality disorder. They never heard the word no between the ages of 3 and 5. And so they are operating at a 2-year-old level with no sense of empathy. Yep. My truth, the king. Where's my pretty woman born again at number pastor house? Oh, husband, house, bride. Pretty woman born again at. You mean like born again Christian? PJ Cornell, $5. You never let the government buy back anything. Cars, guns, gold, etc. Absolutely not. What would they buy back? That's the line. That would be the line. Like, no, I'm not giving up the guns. No, I'm not selling you my gold. But yeah, I'm aware. Sam Whiskey, $10. Cappy, dude bros are now borrowing a down payment money for the luxury car just to impress Karen. Sam, can you email me an article? that would make me so. Well, they're not trying to impress Karen. Okay, they're trying to impress Becky. Becky metamorphosizes into Karen. Do I got the spectrum? Do I got to show you the evolutionary chart? And then when they're married to a Karen, they inevitably go and cheat on Karen with the Becky of younger age. Sam, if you could find that article, that'd be great. JJJS 279 Canadian. We need an Andrew Wilson podcast in 2025. Let's fucking go, America. Well, I think me and Rachel have been each other's podcasts. I met Andrew in person. We could have him on. Here's the problem. We kind of agree on everything. It'd be like, yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it sure is. Okay. Good night, everybody. That was the Andrew and Aaron podcast. Javier Berges, 100 Argentinian somethings. Bolivars. Merry Christmas, Cappy. Merry Christmas, Javier. Hope you're doing good down there with Mile. Thomas Rao, $5. Many of the nagging devices in vehicles is NHTSA mandated, not the manufacturer. Right, fine. Then let's start voting in not Democrats. I'm not saying vote Republican, but not Democrats. What's going to inevitably happen is people just aren't going to be buying these cars. And that's what's happening now, especially in Europe. My trunk toe tap not only never works, it shuts the trunk accidentally. I know there's all these bells and whistles and moving parts, and it's just impossible to fix them. Oh, by the way, repair bills are going up because we got to have all these little fucking safety features. Mr. Anominate, $10. Most of that tech is in semi trucks and was in semi trucks 10 years before it became to cars. Thanks, Bendix. The new semi trucks also mandatory come with that auto steer, very dangerous on winter ice. Oh yeah, don't get me started. JJJS 279 Canadian. South Park also did a skit on AI and trades. Trades 1. I gotta go and start watching my South Park. I did get paid to do Venture Brothers, so that'll be next up on the list. Sam Whiskey, $5. All a man needs is a gypsy wagon and a motorcycle. I am going to be looking for older cars. I've started thinking more long term, and I'm kind of like, I should be buying a car used now. The issue is, where do I put it? Right? I'm going to need someone to drive it, and I've already one of the many reasons I became a misanthrope was because I had relied on a friend to fire up vehicles in the Southern Command, and he didn't do it. And just right now, I have to clean the carbs on the motorcycle. I'd like to find a place where I could have a car. Someone just fires it up occasionally. Parents normally would be there like, hey, Dad, can you just fire up this car? And they don't have room. Oh, we ain't got no money. I don't know where to put it. Oh, no. Have to figure it out. Fuck Seeds, $5. He just says hi. Hello, Fuck Seeds. Thomas Rao, $2. Karens make realtors rich by constantly upgrading. Oh, yeah. Don't get me. Karen's working in realty too. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's what American Beauty was. The gal was a realtor. Here's what it is. I mean this about you, Karens, because you're horrible, despicable, not human beings. You're not human. You have no love. You have no soul. It's always stuff. Always stuff. Have you thought about dressing? When's the last time a Karen dressed up in a French maid outfit and just fucked the hell out of her husband? Huh? When's that happen? What's with all the, I need a new house. We got to get an upgrade. What's wrong with your current house? What's wrong with your current car? Like I said, it never ends. Middle school never ends. And I know men go by their dick extender pickup trucks and their cars and their boats. But there's something about Karens where, like, you're unhappy is because all you do is consume. You think happiness is going to be in a $50,000 handbag. And this is why I don't think I can reach Karens. Karens they're not humans. They're demons. They're creatures from the netherworld, and they just suck in all the materials. And imagine this. Imagine if Karens just got by. Do you know how much extra fucking money we'd have left over? Shit, we could balance the budget, start paying off the student debt. Like, if we didn't have to have granite countertops, and maybe we just went with, I don't know, marble, whatever's cheaper than granite. I guess granite's the most expensive. Like, if you girls just got rid of your fucking Range Rovers and your Audi A6s and all that, imagine, I'm not for any disputation of, I'm just saying, we should wake up as a community, as a culture, say, are we making the right choices here? Or maybe we should spend a little more time with our family and less time working. Yeah. I mean, that's great, Karen. You got yourself a bigger walk-in closet than Trisha down the thing, but you had to get a $40,000 home equity line for that, and you still don't spend any time with your children. And frankly, you don't spend any time in the walk-in closet. Now, if there was blowjobs going on in the walk-in closet, that would kind of be a little bit of love, a little bit of fun. But I'm blowjobs in the walk-in closet, the next book by Aaron Clary. Universal Coordinates, 80 generous Australian dollars. Merry Christmas, Cappy. I made an announcement at Family Christmas Lunch that the best thing that happened to me this year was going 365 days without being nagged or emasculated by a woman. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, man? It's so good being fit, healthy, wealthy, and single. Why don't look, your family is no different than the normies out there. Unless you got an exceptional family member. You just say the nice thing, make mom happy at Christmas. Just listen to Uncle Bernie rant about those damn Republicans who listens to Ralph Nader and Bernie saying, yep, you're right, Uncle Bernie. Republicans and conservative, whatever the not Labor Party is down there. Yep, we sure hate the capitalist pigs there, Uncle Bern. Javier Bergus, 100 Argentinian things. We do have entry-level cars here, but half the price are taxes. I hope you poor people realize that I don't care how much money the government gives you. If you deter production, there's not going to be any cars to buy. Or gross, do you notice with all the free shit, there's not amazingly an abundance more of the shit you need to buy? Matter of fact, it's gone up in price. God damn, man. Try to help poor people out and it just taxes. In Chile, cars are half the price, but they're fancier. Don't you dare question the past 80 years of Argentinian presidents and leaders. Travis Sharp. Wait, Javier, I got to dig on you one. Not you. Well, why don't you Argentinians do what you always do? Borrow like literally hundreds of billions of dollars from the international community and just not pay them back. Why don't you just buy yourself cars that way? The IMF and Western lenders are dumber than fuck. They'll lend you another $250 billion this time. Just do that. Come on, you wrote the playbook on it, man. Just picking on Javier. Travis Sharp, 20 generous dollars. Women believe they deserve everything they want, especially the ones who have degrees. Women ruthlessly use and view men as walking ATM machines. Women are selfish and do not use reasonable logic. I wish it was that simple and that they were that conscious. I honestly think it's more that they've been conditioned. The previous comments before. You're never told no. You're wonderful and you're amazing and you can do whatever you want. And the only reason it doesn't work is because of the patriarchy. And then they go in and then, the impossibility, the life that was simply not possible for them to have in under any circumstance. Like, yeah, you're going to make six figures as a journalism major. And it isn't delivered upon. The promises that their parents and the teachers and the Democrats and the media, Democrats as well. Sorry, ladies, just true. Told them it doesn't come true. Yeah, I'd be pissed as well. And I don't know. Do you have the intelligence to realize it's not the patriarchy? It's your stupid degree and the choice in degrees and this and that. What percent? I don't know, about a third, maybe, if we looked at voting averages. But I don't think they're born evil. I think they're just conditioned to be entitled. And then when the impossible dream is realized to be impossible, yeah, they'd be pissed off. Absolutely. Ass bucket, $2. If men had balls, they would tell more Karens no. I guess the point I'm trying to make is we either check our Karens and tell them no to shut the fuck up, or we're going to continue to be poor. Right? I'm not saying there's going to, in order for that to happen, we have to be tremendous economic and political restructuring and streamlining, but it can start with not allowing Karens in your life. Like HR, right off the bat, I don't deal with HR. You go talk to HR. You go fuck off. Thomas Rao, $5. McMansions are complex to build, which requires more labor per square foot and therefore lowers the supply availability of carpenters to build more houses. Right. It consumes. It's I remember there was this house out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is 12 years ago. I think it was a $15 million house. Dude, there's not a lot of carpenters out in Wyoming. Not a lot of people in Wyoming. How many other houses could have been built for that $15 million house? Because all the carpenters there were just fucking sucked in. Again, I don't begrudge anyone want to build a $15 million home, but for the love of God, guys, if you don't want a $15 million home, just want a nice little pad, but wifey poo wants a $15 million home, say, shut the fuck up. I'm not even asking you to do it out of care for your fellow American. I'm just saying you're not going to get the what the 15 million. What are you doing with the $15 million house? Don't tell me you're doing it for you. You're probably doing it to impress every boat ever bought was to try to get laid. Knock it the fuck off. Ken Rose, $5. He says, Happy Christmas. Thank you, Ken. JJGS, 279 Canadian. A barista corrected me on her pronouns, Film H. I know. I mean, that's kind of a proto Karen. That's a pre-Becky when they got their pronouns. Like, shut the fuck up. I mean, like your younger brother starts mouthing off. You got to beat him up and put him in his place. People need to be, I'm not saying physically, but some people need to be saying, shut the fuck up. Yeah, shut that. No one cares. Literally, no one cares about your dumbass shit. Super Zippy, $5. AOL will replace the Karen class soon. Enjoying being a happy single 31-year-old mechanic myself. Just waiting for them, winning them out and buying crypto. I don't know, Super. I mean, it's good that you're investing in crypto and hopefully you're investing in other things, the diversified portfolio and all that. But if you're a mechanic, I can't predict the economy. I can't. That's what makes me the world's greatest economist. As I admit, I can't predict anything, and I admit that I'm always wrong. But if you're a mechanic and you can learn the IT side of that shit that's coming down the pipe, you're going to be golden, man. I don't think you'll ever be unemployed. Alex Fanov, $5. Alaskan trucker enjoying Christmas in Hawaii. Good for you. That's going to be a short flight. Hang on, let me take a look. Flight Anchorage to Hawaii. Oh, it's not a short flight. 6.5 hours. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that Pacific is huge. Oh, I hated flying across the Pacific. I hated it. Oh, it's horrible. Ass bucket, $2. Remember, Cappy, it's Ronald Reagan's fault. Everything is Ronald Reagan's fault. What's his name? Who's that perfect boomer? What's his name? Phil something. He's lost. He's gotten real mad in his old age. They all still blame Reagan. Javier, again, 100 Argentine pesos. No, we're not borrowing or printing anymore. Taxes eventually will go down. Well, right. You got Milan. He's the first adult you've had in a long time. I'm more specifically referring, this might be before your time. I think it was 1999 or the late 90s. Argentina defaulted on what was back then around $100 billion. And then sure enough, everyone lent the money again. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I think the guy who was president then, Uribe was Colombia. Who the fuck was Argentina? Then his wife ended up becoming president, like your version of Hillary Clinton. Well, you know this. And then you all want, not you, but everyone, oh my God, why is Argentina got inflation? I'm like, stop electing leftist cuantas. Alex Patino, or truck driving Latino agent in the, hey, did you make it to North Carolina, Alex? $10. That's why I love driving a truck. Do you know how many times I have dealt with HR? I don't even know if we have one. Exactly. And you make more than the average college graduate. All right, there you go. Thank you all kindly for the super chat donations. Again, link below. Bachelor Pad Economics, the Financial Advice Bible for Men. Worthless, the young person's indispensable guide to choosing the right major. And if you still think you got to get a boat or a car to impress the girls, and maybe Karens, if you think the bag is the most important thing, for the love of fucking God, will you please go take Achieving Financial Excellence? It's available on Teachable. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.